Hey, what's up guys, Sneeze here. I thought I'd show you the cards that I got in the pre-release that I went to. The pre-release was at midnight, so this is actually 5 hours later. This is right after the draft, the seal draft. So you get 6 packs. Yeah, you get 6 packs. 5 of those packs are booster packs, and you get to choose which color you want to pick. So if you pick the green, there's going to be a pack that's going to be all green, creatures, enchantments, instants, and stuff of that nature. So after after doing the whole draft, I'm really regretting the green. I don't think I should have went with the green. You know, I was thinking I was gonna get a Garrick. I think that's how you pronounce his name. You know, because his face is everywhere for the M15. His face is absolutely everywhere. So one of the things I was hearing was there's gonna be nothing but gods, you know, for the pre-release. It's not gonna be like a regular booster pack. You know, they really like to throw a lot of gods and a lot of really good rare cards for the pre-releases, because they want that hype, you know. So I was really looking forward to picking up a Liliana or Jace, or who else is it? I can't think right now. I'm so tired. But let me go ahead and show you the cards that I went with for my 40 card deck. So I'll go ahead and show you guys right here if my camera will cooperate. Naturalize, really good card. Negate, really good card right here. It's a good counter for a non-creature spell. Come on, camera. Okay, camera. Okay, it's gonna be like this. I had in these packs, I have this sliver right here and another one, but the other one is a red, I can't think right now, sorry. It's a red slither, and it didn't really do that too much. It didn't do too much, so I stuck with this one. It does cost 2 mana, and it is a 1/1, but it has Death Touch. So I went with the Runeclaw Bear too. It's a 2-drop, 2/2. I mean, the whole entire point of the whole draft is to get small creatures. You know, you just want to fill the whole entire battlefield with small creatures. But it is a green deck, so there are really big creatures that I was fortunate enough to get. This is one of my artifacts. All I need is a creature to throw this on. And I want to show you the combination that I did, if I can, really quickly. I threw this, it's called Hot Soup. You equip this on a creature that you control, and it can't be blocked. But the downside is whenever equipped creature is dealt damage, destroy it. So in total, it costs 4 mana to equip this to a creature. So I equipped this to this creature right here. Soul of New Phyrexia. Phyrexia? I think that's how you pronounce it. So I'm not too good with the whole magic lingo and terms. I think this is called a mythic or mystic. I think it's a mythic. So this is an artifact creature. It has trample, and you can do a bunch of stuff to it. It's a 6/6. So that whole entire combination where it can't be blocked, it has trample. Well, trample really doesn't matter at that point if it can't be blocked. So it was just a really good combination. Overall, this is a reprint. A Ranger's Gill. This is a rare right here. Don't know how to pronounce that at all. But I feel like this is one of the newest cards to Magic. Let me go ahead and try to pronounce this. Fight Phytotyphon. When Phytotyphon dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control at the beginning of his or her next upkeep. So once it dies, I have to wait for my next upkeep, and then I can throw it onto the battlefield. Tapped, unfortunately, but the fact that it comes back on the battlefield is just really awesome. It costs 6 mana, and it's a 7/2. I could throw one of the many equipments that I have. Well, I shouldn't say many. I have a few equipments, and we'll get to see them in a little bit. But you know, this is one of the creatures that you just throw a bunch of equipments on and throw a bunch of instants that pump them up and stuff, and and stuff of that nature. So tired. If you haven't noticed, I'm just exhausted. Right now it's 5 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning. Divination, another reprint. Sorcery. It allows me to draw 2 cards. And, you know, this deck was just really, really weak. I ended with, I ended 1-4. So I won 1 game. I lost, 1-3. I lost 3 games. So a total of 4 games. And I thought it was one of those things where, this is another reprint. I tap my opponent's creature. It doesn't untap. After that, this is a really good one. Invisibility. I don't know if this is a reprint. This might be new. You throw this on a creature. Come on, camera. Enchanted creature can't be blocked except by walls. So this is one of those things where I throw it on one of my huge green creatures, and there's nothing my opponent can do other than, you know, cast an instant and try to remove it from the battlefield. So this was really good. It looks like a bunch of goblins. Who would have thunk there'd be goblins in the blue deck? I'm sure there is, but I haven't seen any. Let's go ahead and put this back. Flip these over. Satisfied with this deck, but you know, with the whole entire opening, I was just really disappointed. I didn't get any gods. I got a bunch of rares, but the rares just sucked. Like, I didn't understand it. I really like this card right here. It doesn't cost anything. It has flying, and it's an 0/2. This is an artifact, Thopter. I think that's how you pronounce it. Really, really good. If I had 3 more, I'd run this deck with 4 of these guys. And this is just one of those things where you could just chump block. I mean, it costs 0 mana. I mean, this thing is awesome. But I only have 1, so this is one of those creatures where you could just throw a bunch of pump ups on it. Illusia. We'll just call this an angel. So it does have flying, but cast angel only if you've cast another spell this turn. That's really good. That's really, really good. And with the blue-green deck, I mean, it's no problem to cast another spell. And what's this guy? Until end of turn, target creature loses all abilities and becomes a blue frog with base power and toughness of 1/1. I didn't get a chance to play this card. This was actually my sideboard. I substituted another card, and I think I'll show it later on. But let's hurry up and get through this this deck right here. This costs 4 mana, but I was at the point where I just needed creatures, man. Really needed creatures. So disappointed on all the black cards that I got. I only had with the promos, I only had like a total of 4, but we'll get a chance to see those. Just so disappointed. Like these, like the blue green deck, I'm sure can be awesome, but the cards that I got were just horrendous, man. This is another reprint right here. Vine Weft. I used this a bunch of times. Really good card. Another bird. Void Snare. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. I used this twice, maybe. This is one of those big creatures. And you know, it was, you know, in all 4 rounds, it was no problem getting to 6 mana. I did run with 8 green and 8 blue. There was no thought process around. I just wanted 8 blue and 8 green. You know, I didn't want to run into that trouble of just being mana screwed. I know there's a whole technique where you add up all the mana symbols for that color and then you base a percentage and all that blase blah, but I just went with 8 green and 8 blue. And I borrowed the store's mana. And it's actually pretty funny because they ran out of mana. And I was just lucky enough to pick up the blue and the green, thinking, you know, also no one really plays blue green with the old M4. Not saying that I've played a bunch of drafts before, because this was my first draft, and it just so happened it was a pre-release, so going 1-4 with that deck. Not too shabby, but let me go ahead and quickly show you guys. This is all the life that was taken. It came with some really cool stuff. Like if you decided to go green white, they gave some comments on what you can do, and I'm sure this isn't. Oh, it is. Oh, it's going in and out the focus, and I did get one Planeswalker, but I don't think I can play this. Yeah, I don't think I can play this card, right? You can't play this, right? No, you can't play this. I would love to get this bad boy. Start with 20. Is that like is this based off of a real card, or did they just make this stuff up? I think this is actually based off of the... Yeah, this guy's face is everywhere. So I was like, yeah, I'll get the green deck in. I'll get the... I'll get Garruk, the Planeswalker, you know? Little did I know. Little did I know. So let me show you the promo card. So this is the card that everyone in the draft got. In Garruk's Wake. It costs 9 mana. It's a rare. Destroy all creatures you don't control and all Planeswalker you don't control. I didn't get any Planeswalkers, but a lot of people got Jaces and Lilianas. I mean, you know, I took a look once all my matches were done, or during like the break periods. I took a look at like other people's decks and matches, and a lot of people had Planeswalkers. So this card, if you're running a black deck, that would be the card to go with. You know, a lot of people frown upon, you know, 9 drops in a 40 card draft, you know, but you know, that's the minimum is 40 cards. You can always go up from there, but it's always good to go with the least amount, because they say you have a better chance of drawing the card that you want. These are some tokens. These are the tokens, the wolf tokens that I got with the green, and these were the lands, and these useless cards. So those were the tokens and the lands, and these were the rest. These were the rest of the cards that came. What's the best way to hold this? Man, rolling up on 6 right now. 6 in the morning. So here's another one of the invisibility. And that's a really cool animation. It's like a ghost creeping past the guards. Peel from reality, return target creature you control and target creature you don't control to their owner's hands. Cost 2 mana. I think this is the card that I switched out, and I have 2 of them, right? Yeah, I have 2 of them. So here's the Mind Sculpt. I did have this in my deck up until the 2nd round, and I was talking to my opponent, and we were talking about each other's decks, and he said, yeah, you know, it was a good idea to have Mind Sculpt, but you want, if you don't want 1, you want 4, you know, because that would make more sense. What's the point of me milling my opponent for 7 when nothing else is going to follow up? If I had another Mind Sculpt, I could hit him for another 7 and another 7. So that's a tactic right there. And I know these things, but I thought it would be good to throw it in the deck, the green blue deck. But I thought about what he said, and I actually took that advice and I took it out. And I think it was the right decision. Research assistant. I didn't go with this one. Merc Lurker. I wasn't running with the blue-black deck, so this card is pretty much useless to me. Chrono Stutter. I don't understand this one. Put target creature into its owner's library, 2nd from the top. So I don't see how that would be. I mean, 6 mana for that. It's not even like put it at the bottom of your opponent's deck. So as you can see, there's nothing too exciting with the rest of the blues. This is the rest of the greens. Destroy all enchantments. That's good for a 2-drop, but not many people were playing with enchantments, you know, or the people I've played against. This is 6-drop, 4/5. Not too interesting to me. Really not too interesting. And the pump up 7 7 to throw a 1/1 counter on this is just like, really? I can't even put multiple counters on it at once because it costs so much mana to pump that up. So that card's restock, sorry. Return 2 target cards from your graveyard to your hand, exile, restock. I could see how this would be good in green black, you know, graveyard fetch, but Convoke. I think I should have went with this, but I don't know too much about Convoke. A lot of my opponents had, like 3 of my opponents were running with Convoke, and I really, oh no, sorry, they were running with Convoke, but each Convoke does different things. So I was going up against, my first matchup was white-black, and he was just countering everything. I throw a creature down, he'd throw Convoke down, and it was something where he tapped his creatures, and some way, somehow, it exiled my creatures, and there's just really nothing I could do against the white-black deck, man, that he was running. Life's Legacy. This is a rare 2-drop. As additional cost to cast Life's Legacy, sacrifice a creature, draw cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power. I thought about it, but there's not that many creatures in the blue, on the blue side of my deck, so then I'd be destroying a green creature. But the green creatures that I have on the battlefield are so important and they need to stay on the battlefield, so I didn't go with that one. Forge Devil, Borderline Marauder, Rummaging Goblin. I've been seeing a lot of reprints. Miner's Bane, Borderline Marauder. So that's another one. So I have 2 of these so far. Generator Servant. Please, camera, please. Please. Frenzied Goblin. Another Borderland Marauder. Another Miner's Bane. Goblin Rough Rider. Lava Axe. I actually really like this card. It does cost 5, but when you have your opponent low and you just throw 5 damage right at his or her face, you could win the game. You could definitely win the game. As long as they don't have a counter, you could win the game with this. But it's a sorcery card, so you have to do it during your upkeep. I think that's how they say it. Blastfire Bolt. Another high mana cost. Clear the path. Destroy target creature with defender. Like, really? The red deck, I mean, the creatures are there. So I was actually thinking about running the blue red. So this is where I get just super depressed. Child of the Night. It's a good card, you know, 2-drop. It has lifelink. It's a 2/1. Okay. Typhoid Rats, Death Touch. Beautiful card. I'm all about the rats. Necromancer's Assistant. Really, really okay card. And that's it. That's it for creatures in the black deck. 3. 4. Well, yeah, 4 if you count the promo card. Actually, no. The promo card was a sorcery. Yeah, it was a sorcery. So 3 creatures I pulled. And that's ridiculous. So this right here is a rare. Waste not. Whenever an opponent discards a creature card, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. Whenever an opponent discards a land card, add 2 swamps to your mana pool. Whenever an opponent discards a non-creature, non-land card, draw a card. Like, amazing. Amazing right here. This thing's amazing. Flesh to Dust. Oh, 3. Look at that. You know, it's just like, come on, man. Let me get some creatures to... Let me get some creatures, man. Endless Obedience. This is a Convoke right here. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. I mean, wow. Now that I think about it, how good does black red look right now? For the cards that I pulled, black red. Red had a lot of creatures, and the black had the really good enchantment cards and the instants, and another rare right here. Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, legendary land. Each land is a swamp in addition to its other land types. Yeah, that'd be great if I had if I was running black. Staff of Wild Magus. I mean, I was running the blue-green deck, so whenever you cast a green spell or force enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. And that's what my first matchup was. It was the white black, like I said, and he was just gaining life. You know, they reprinted a Johnny's Presence, I think it's called. So it's a Johnny's Presence is this is crap. A Johnny's Presence gains a 1/1 counter every time you gain a life. I mean, this card got so big. If it wasn't for my enchantment card where when target creature taps, it doesn't untap. If I didn't have that, that card would have just like single-handedly destroyed me, because he just kept gaining life. Another Convoke right here. It's another rare card right here. Avarice Amulet. Equipped creature gets +2 power and has vigilance, and at the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card. Not too shabby. When equipped creature dies, target opponent gains control of the amulet. That's scary though. That is scary though. So just got to make sure that the creature that I equip this to does not die, or else my opponent gets this. No thank you. How is that a rare? I don't understand. Brawler's Plate. I saw this from my opponents. Oh, this is an artifact. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has trample. So in total, you need to pay 7. That wasn't too appealing to me. You know, paying 3 to get it onto the battlefield and then equipping it for 4. That wasn't too appealing for me. You only get +2/+2 and trample. I mean, yeah, this was the card that my opponent was just really hammering me with. Soul Mender. So what happens is when you can tap this, he would tap it, and then the Ajani's Presence, I think it's the Ajani's Presence, I think that's the name of that card. That thing was just getting so big. Every time he gained life, he was just throwing counters on that other card. I want to say Oreo, but there's no O. It's Orisco Swiftclaw. 2 of those bad boys. Kinsbale Skirmisher. When Skirmisher enters the battlefield, target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. I mean, that's not too bad. That's really not too bad. It's not a bad card either. Oh, this is my other sliver. Sliver creatures you control have, when this creature enters the battlefield, you may exile target creature an opponent controls until this creature leaves the battlefield. I do not like it being 6 mana. I do not like that. 3/3, like, no thank you. And I only had 1 more sliver, so I would have to wait until I get 6 mana and then play the other sliver. I mean, if I had multiple slivers, I would definitely have the constructing sliver in the deck, but I don't. Selfless Cathar. Did I put one in by mistake? Okay, yeah, I did. Another rare. Guardian Angel, legendary creature angel. It has flying, vigilance, and a bunch of stuff that you can do to it. Raise the alarm. Battle mastery. You know, it's always after the draft. I feel like you look at all the cards that you got and you're like, why did I go with that? Like, now I'm thinking to myself, why did I go green blue? But I definitely learned a lot. Another convoke. What does this one do? Target creature gains indestructible until the end of turn. Yeah. I had an opponent. He had multiple of these. Why didn't I go the white? Why didn't I go blue white? Or even green? Or even red white? Definitely second guessing myself right now. Marked honor, enchant creature. Enchant creature gets +2/+2 and has vigilance. I am definitely second guessing myself right now. Can I hit the restart? Can I hit the restart button? And I gotta die. So this is for the life total. And you can use it for other things too. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this episode. Thanks for checking out the video. I definitely had fun during this draft. Even though I went 1-3, I definitely learned a lot. I definitely had fun. But I've always been one to say that I want graveyard fetch cards. I want a strong black deck with a bunch of rats and have you mill cards and do all types of crazy stuff. But this M15, I feel like the white deck is just so ridiculous, man. There's so many convokes, pump ups for creatures, counters. I mean, how they were countering me, like they were out countering me, and I have a strong blue deck. You know, I had all types of crazy cards where if anyone drew a creature and put it onto the battlefield, there was a card, I can't remember the name of it, but they could target an opponent's creature and tap that creature. There was really nothing I could have done. The white deck is just ridiculous. So the next time I do an M15 draft, that's the route I'm going. But thanks again for checking out the video. Make sure to stay tuned for future episodes. I'll definitely see you guys later.